All right, so have you ever thought about how cool it would be to
Yeah.
bring Geralt's monster hunting skills into your D&D game?
Oh, totally. I mean, the
Okay.
Witcher universe just fits D&D mechanics so well.
Yeah.
You've got those morally gray choices, the intricate political plots,
Uh-huh.
and obviously the thrill of fighting those terrifying monsters.
Totally. And it's funny you should mention that because
Yeah.
just last week my group was playing and we thought we had stumbled on a simple fetch quest,
Right.
just clear out the bandits from the old mine type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But it turned out to be a trap set by Bruxa.
Oh.
It was so scary.
Classic Witcher.
Yeah.
Speaking of bringing those iconic elements to life,
Yeah.
we've got a great resource to help us today.
Okay.
Expert Guide, Mastering Witcher-Inspired D&D Character Builds by Emily Thorne from
Okay.
LitRPG Reads.
Uh-huh.
It came out just this week.
So this isn't just a list of
No.
pre-made builds.
Not at all. Okay.
It's more about
Okay.
giving you the tools to make your own Witcher-inspired character
I see.
from scratch.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it even talks about how the recent D&D 5.5e updates
Yeah.
have changed character creation.
Okay, so what are some of the big changes players should know about?
Well, the subclass options in 5.5e
Yeah.
are a total game changer.
Okay.
They give you way more nuance now.
Mm-hmm.
Take Geralt, for example.
Okay.
He's an amazing swordsman, right?
Right.
But he also uses those wicker signs.
Yeah.
And the new weapon mastery system lets you really customize your moves.
I see.
You can get super close to Geralt's fighting style.
Okay.
That mix of swordplay and magic.
That's really cool.
Imagine doing moves that are exactly like his pirouette attack or his whirlwind strike.
That's awesome.
I know, right?
I'm guessing the new feats and backgrounds are important too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Back here.
They let you add those little details that make a character unique.
Think about Triss Marigold and her fire magic.
Okay.
With the right feats, your character's fire spells could be
Yeah,
crazy strong and unpredictable, just like hers.
I like it.
Or you could use a background to show Yennefer's political connections and influence, which would add a whole other side to her.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's break down building a Witcher-inspired character.
Okay.
Step by step.
Sounds good.
The article starts with Geralt, and it suggests the Eldritch Knight subclass.
Right.
As a good starting point.
It makes sense when you think about it.
Yeah.
The Eldritch Knight is all about mixing spells in combat,
Uh-huh.
Seamlessly blending fighting skills and magic.
Okay.
That's Geralt for sure.
Yeah.
And if you pick the right spells, you can even copy some of his signs.
Okay, so using Thunderwave to mimic Argard
Yes.
or Shield to show Quinn.
Exactly.
Cover.
And don't forget about the important Witcher skills.
Okay, like what?
Athletics for strength and agility. Perception for tracking monsters.
Okay.
Survival so you can make it in the wild.
Yeah.
Those are crucial for making your character feel like a real Witcher.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So next up is Yennefer.
Right.
And the article recommends the sorcerer class.
Well, yeah.
No surprise there.
She's so powerful.
Right.
Yennefer's magic is like a part of her.
Yeah.
It's not something she learned.
I see.
The sorcerer class really shows that natural power.
Okay.
And for subclasses,
Yeah.
the article suggests aberrant mind and clockwork soul.
Both interesting choices.
Yeah.
I'm curious why those were picked.
Well, aberrant mind taps into a more chaotic source of power,
Okay.
which is like Yennefer's magic,
Yeah.
kind of unpredictable and uncontrollable sometimes.
Right.
But clockwork soul, on the other hand, emphasizes precision and control.
Okay.
It's like a more calculated way to use magic,
Yeah.
which could reflect how much Yennefer has mastered her abilities.
I hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah, it makes you think which subclass really fits your idea of Yennefer.
Definitely.
And don't forget about the Metamagic Adept feat.
Okay.
That's key for showing how versatile Yennefer is with spells.
Okay.
You can use it to copy her signature moves.
Like what?
Like using Subtle Spell to cast a spell without anyone noticing,
Whoa.
or Quicken Spell to cast 2 spells in one turn.
That's awesome.
It overwhelms her opponents.
Yeah.
It's great.
So speaking of versatility,
Right.
the article's take on Triss Marigold is really interesting.
Yeah.
It suggests either the Circle of Wildfire Druid
Mm-hmm.
or the evocation wizard.
It's all about capturing that duality in her character.
Yeah.
She's a powerful fire mage, capable of incredible destruction.
Yeah.
But she's also known for healing and compassion.
Right.
The Circle of Wildfire druid leans into that caring side, while the evocation wizard focuses on raw destructive power.
So it's like choosing what side of her personality you want to show.
Exactly.
You know, like, do you want to be the fiery mage or the compassionate healer?
Or maybe both.
Or find a way to balance both.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And the article even points out specific spells to show this.
Okay.
Fireball is that classic explosive magic Triss is known for.
Right.
But Healing Word shows her quick and efficient healing touch.
Yeah.
It's up to you to decide what spells best show your vision of Triss.
It's like choosing a path for your character within the Witcher world.
Exactly.
So we've focused on adapting individual characters.
Yeah.
What about like
Great.
building a whole Witcher-inspired party?
That's where the real fun begins.
Okay.
Think about who usually goes with Geralt on adventures.
Okay.
You could have a loyal companion, good with swords and tracking a clever rogue, good at getting information.
Okay.
Or maybe a mage who specializes in protection or controlling the battlefield.
That's cool.
It's about making a group that embodies the Witcher universe.
Yeah.
You know, a party ready to face monsters, political intrigue, and those tough moral choices that make the Witcher so captivating.
Yeah, it's about more than just copying the characters.
Exactly.
It's about capturing the spirit of the world.
Yeah.
And putting that into your own D&D experience.
Absolutely. Welcome back to our deep dive on building Witcher-inspired campaigns and characters.
So last time we focused on turning those iconic characters into playable D&D builds.
Right, using all the new mechanics in 5.5e.
Exactly. We covered everything from like choosing the right class and subclass to picking spells and feats that really capture those Witcher abilities.
A lot to think about.
But building a character is only the first step. Right. Now we need to like bring them to life in a campaign that really feels like The Witcher.
And luckily, Emily Thorne's article covers that too.
Okay, cool.
It gives a ton of advice on how to put those key elements of The Witcher into your game and your story.
Awesome.
It's about going beyond the mechanics and getting to the heart of what makes The Witcher so compelling.
So where do we even begin?
Yeah.
Like, how do we capture that atmosphere
that's tricky
of moral ambiguity and political intrigue and those intense monster hunts that we love about The Witcher?
Well, one way is to focus on the themes that are like central to the Witcher universe. You know those ethical dilemmas where your choices have consequences?
Yeah.
Like imagine your party is hired to kill a monster that's been terrorizing a village.
Okay.
But when they investigate, they find out something deeper.
Okay.
Maybe the monster's protecting something.
Oh.
Or it's the victim of a curse.
That changes things.
Suddenly, it's not just a simple monster hunt.
Right.
It's about making a tough choice that could have ripple effects throughout the campaign.
Do you follow the contract?
Right.
And maybe harm an innocent creature?
Yeah.
Or risk the anger of the villagers by letting it live?
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
And don't forget the politics. Oh, yeah.
The Witcher world is full of kings and sorceresses and shadowy groups, all fighting for power.
Right.
Your party could get caught in the middle of that.
Oh, I can imagine.
Having to choose a side or uncover a conspiracy that could topple a kingdom.
That's intense.
The Witcher is full of these situations where there's no easy answer.
Right, right.
And that's what makes it perfect for role-playing.
Yeah.
These scenarios really let players explore their characters' values and motivations.
That makes sense.
How far will they go to reach their goals? What lines are they willing to cross?
That's deep.
It is.
Speaking of exploring the world, the article also talks about those investigations Geralt does.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're like the most interesting parts.
Definitely.
The Witcher stories.
They're so captivating.
Man, they fit perfectly into D&D.
Absolutely.
Your party could be tasked with finding the source of a plague or investigating disappearances.
Or exploring ruins
that
are rumored to have powerful artifacts.
It's classic Witcher.
But the key is making sure these investigations are more than just fetch quests.
Oh, for sure.
Every clue should be a piece of the puzzle.
Right.
Slowly revealing a bigger mystery or hidden threat.
Exactly.
It's about building suspense and keeping your players hooked.
You want them to feel like they're actually solving a mystery.
Right, just like Geralt.
Exactly.
And we can't forget about magic.
Oh, of course.
We talked about adapting Witcher signs.
Right.
And powerful spells.
Yeah.
But magic in The Witcher is often shown as unpredictable.
Oh, yeah.
And dangerous.
For sure.
It's not just a tool.
Right.
It's a force to be reckoned with.
It can backfire.
And the article suggests putting magical mishaps into your campaign.
I love that idea.
Like, imagine a teleport spell going wrong.
Oh, no.
And stranding the party.
Uh-oh.
In a dangerous place.
That's scary.
Or maybe a healing potion has a side effect.
Oh.
And turns someone into a frog.
That's hilarious.
Right? Those twists add fun and unpredictability.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of unexpected effects, what about all those potions and decoctions?
Oh, yes. The alchemy of the Witcher.
Yeah.
That's another great thing to bring into your D&D games.
Okay. How would we do that?
Well, a character who's good with alchemist supplies could make powerful concoctions that give temporary boosts or special abilities.
Like what kind of boosts?
Maybe a potion that enhances your senses.
Okay.
So you can see in the dark or track scents, like a Witcher.
Cool.
Or a decoction that gives you resistance to fire or poison. Just like how Witchers prepare for certain monsters.
I like it.
It's not just for flavor, though.
Okay.
These potions and decoctions add a new tactical level to the game.
I see.
Players have to think strategically about when to use them.
So we've got themes, scenarios,
Yeah.
and even alchemy.
Right.
But the article also talks a lot about role-playing and character development.
It's so important.
What does Emily Thorne say about that?
She wants players to really dig into their backstories and motivations.
Like what made them become a Witcher?
Exactly. What were their biggest experiences? What are their values and beliefs?
Right.
What flaws or conflicts do they have?
Because even the most skilled Witcher is still human.
Well, mostly.
Right.
But they have fears and desires and relationships that affect who they are.
That makes sense.
And how they interact with the world.
So we should include that in our stories.
Definitely.
Like, imagine a scenario where a character's past comes back to haunt them.
Ooh.
They have to face old enemies.
Yeah.
Or deal with past trauma.
That's good stuff.
Or maybe they have to choose between being a Witcher and their own beliefs.
All right.
That kind of conflict is at the heart of The Witcher.
It is.
It makes those characters relatable.
Yeah, even with their superhuman abilities.
Right.
The article also suggests adding opportunities for growth throughout the campaign. Maybe a character overcomes a fear or learns a lesson or makes a sacrifice that changes them.
I see.
It's not just about killing monsters and getting loot. It's about seeing your characters change and grow.
It's about those moments of self-discovery.
Exactly.
The bonds they form with their companions.
And speaking of companions, a Witcher-inspired campaign isn't just about individuals. It's about the relationships between them.
Right.
The way those relationships change as they face challenges together.
We need to think about the party members and make sure their relationships are just as complex as the ones in the Witcher stories.
Think about the banter, the rivalries, the unexpected friendships between Geralt and his friends.
That's what makes it interesting.
Encourage your players to explore those dynamics in their party.
So, like, maybe there's tension between a serious Witcher and a more fun-loving bard.
I like it.
Or maybe two party members fall in love. Right? Those interactions add depth and realism.
They do.
That makes it feel like a real world where characters have real connections.
Exactly.
So we've covered themes, scenarios, role-playing tips. Right? And even alchemy.
We've hit it all.
But there's one more thing in Emily Thorne's article that I want to mention.
What's that?
She has a whole section on advanced strategies for making Witcher-inspired builds even better.
Interesting.
It goes beyond the basics we talked about and really gets into optimizing your characters.
Yeah.
This seems like it would be great for experienced D&D players.
Definitely.
Who want to take their builds to the next level.
For sure.
So we're going to dive into that next time.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive.
Yeah.
We've covered so much. From like building individual characters to making campaign settings that really feel like The Witcher.
Yeah, it's been fun.
And now, as promised, we're going to explore those advanced strategies that can really take your Witcher-inspired builds to the next level.
This is where it gets interesting.
Right. It's about going deep into the mechanics and finding those cool combinations that make your characters not just flavorful, but really effective too.
Absolutely.
So let's start with multiclassing.
Okay.
It's a classic way to make your characters more complex and versatile.
Yeah.
But it's not just about picking a second class randomly.
Right.
It's about finding combinations.
Yeah.
That make sense mechanically and thematically.
Totally.
Think about how Geralt operates.
Okay.
He's a master swordsman,
Uh-huh.
but he's also super stealthy and resourceful.
Yeah.
Combining the Eldritch Knight Fighter with a few levels in Ranger
Interesting.
could really capture that mix
I see what you mean.
of combat skills,
Yeah.
wilderness expertise,
Mhm.
and monster hunting abilities.
I like it.
Imagine taking the Hunter subclass for Ranger
Okay.
and focusing on fighting specific types of creatures,
Right.
just like how Geralt prepares for each monster.
Yeah. With the right oils and decoctions.
Exactly. And you could even flavor those Ranger spells as Witcher signs.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
So Entangle could be Jordan,
Oh, I like that.
creating a magical trap.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's not just about getting new abilities.
Right.
It's about telling a better story for your character.
Showing how they've grown
Yeah.
and how their experiences have shaped them.
Into the monster hunter they are now.
Okay, so let's talk about feats.
Right.
D&D 5.5e has a bunch of new feats
Yeah.
that can really boost your Witcher-inspired builds.
So many good ones.
The sharpshooter feat's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine a Geralt-inspired character
Right.
making those super precise ranged attacks,
All right.
taking down flying monsters, or enemies hiding behind cover.
It's awesome.
That would show how good Geralt is with the crossbow.
Exactly.
He uses it all the time to take down those flying creatures.
And don't forget about Yennefer.
Oh, yeah.
For a sorcerer build, the spell sniper feat could be her thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like how she can channel her power with focus and accuracy,
Right.
hitting targets from far away.
It's about finding those feats that work with your character's strengths
Yeah,
and add something new to their abilities.
definitely.
So for those who want to get really creative,
Okay.
Emily Thorne suggests looking into homebrew features.
Oh, yeah. This is where things get really fun.
Right. We're talking about making custom spells, abilities,
Yeah.
even unique
I
subclasses
love homebrew stuff.
that you won't find in the official rule books.
It's so creative.
It's about taking those core elements of The Witcher
Yeah.
and turning them into completely new mechanics.
I like it.
Imagine making a Witcher-specific subclass that focuses on crafting those potions and decoctions, giving you unique benefits or debuffs in combat.
That's awesome.
Or maybe a subclass that specializes in tracking monsters with abilities that enhance their senses and give them knowledge of monster weaknesses.
That would be awesome.
It's a chance to be creative and make these characters your own.
Totally.
But just a heads up,
Okay.
when you're using homebrew stuff, it's important to keep things balanced.
Right.
Work with your dungeon master
Yeah.
to make sure these additions fit into the world and don't overpower other players.
It's about being fair.
It's about making sure everyone at the table has fun.
Exactly.
And that's what Emily Thorne's article is all about.
Yeah.
It's not just about the mechanics or making the perfect build.
It's about capturing the spirit of The Witcher.
It's about the adventure,
Yeah.
the moral dilemmas,
And camaraderie.
the thrill of fighting scary monsters in a world full of magic and mystery.
It's about bringing all of that into your D&D game.
And creating stories that are epic and personal.
Exactly.
So if you want to explore new possibilities in your D&D campaigns, think about diving into the world of The Witcher.
I agree.
LitRPG Reads is a great resource.
Yeah.
And if you want to go even deeper,
Okay.
check out Paul Bellows' work.
Oh, yeah. He's great.
His writing blends fantasy and gaming.
In such interesting ways.
Before we wrap up,
Yeah.
we'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
Which Witcher character would you want to bring into D&D?
Ooh, good question.
And what unique twists would you add?
Let us know in the comments.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It was fun.